I declare the congregation open. Members of the university, guests, and especially all of you graduating here today, it's an enormous pleasure to be able to welcome you all on such a sweltering afternoon here in Lancaster. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the summer script. It's an enormous pleasure to be able to welcome you on what is a very special occasion. My name is Alistair Burt, I'm the Pro-Chancellor of the university, and it's really wonderful to see you all. We're thrilled to be with you today to celebrate a very special day, and to all the graduates, your graduation is a testament to your own hard work, resilience and determination, and of course the support from your tutors, families and friends who I know will be feeling justifiably proud of you all today. We're here to celebrate the achievements of our students from Lancaster University Management School. I'd also like to make special mention of Dr. Mark Ritson, our Alumni Award winner, and Chancellor's Medal winner, Joseph Matthew Richardson, about whom we will hear more later. I'm very pleased to welcome you all to today's ceremony. Now, degree ceremonies, while formal occasions, are events to be enjoyed. So I would encourage you all to applaud our graduates enthusiastically at the appropriate times during the ceremony. Now, let me explain to you what I've just done. This is a license to you to be enthusiastic when people you know walk across the stage. You think of everything you've put into all these years. The odd whoop does not go amiss. So do feel free to enjoy that moment and make the appropriate noises. Don't hold back. It is a day of celebration, and for some of you, I suspect the celebration will go on long into the night. There are no easy degrees at Lancaster. Every one has to be earned through commitment, dedication, and hard work. So today we celebrate the fact that each of you has proven you not only have the intelligence, but you also have the resilience to rise to a challenge. Postgraduate graduation ceremonies recognize the significant commitment that you've given to your studies and your chosen field. The steps you will take across the stage are symbolic of the hard work you've put in and the exciting new opportunities that might await you. Don't hurry those steps as you come across. Take your time. We've got all the time in the world for you, so enjoy that moment as you walk across. Today marks the end of an era, but also a new beginning as an alumnus of Lancaster University. You're joining a community of thousands of Lancaster graduates from virtually every country in the world, a network which we hope will provide support, advice, and friendship throughout your lives. Please do keep in touch. And that's not a throwaway comment. We really mean it. It will matter to you in years to come. If you look around yourselves right now, who is it that you will cross half the world to see again in the years to come? Because you will. It's nearly 50 years since I started university, and I'd still go anywhere to meet my friends. Our students and graduates are amongst our finest ambassadors. Our hope is that wherever your future takes you, you will continue to represent your alma mater by becoming engaged in your local communities, helping us build our reputation as a world-leading institution and changing the world for the better. When and where will we hear about you again? Because we will. While you're doing that, we'll be working hard to keep up our end of the bargain and secure the enduring valuation of the qualification you've worked so hard for. Whether you look at national or world rankings, Lancaster is right up there. In every major UK league table, we're ranked in the top 15 out of over 130 universities in the country. We're highly ranked in international league tables too. We're currently 146th and 122nd out of more than 1,000 universities in the major international tables, and our ambition, of course, is to be in that top 100. The 2021 Research Excellence Framework assessed the quality and impact of research in UK universities across all subjects. Almost half of our submitted research was rated in the world leading category, and we were placed 21st out of 157 by the Times Higher Education supplement. Just as significant for you as graduating students, Lancaster was ranked joint third in the country for research intensity by the Complete University Guide. And that's based on the percentage of our academic staff actively working on cutting-edge research. Only Oxford and Cambridge were ahead. All of this creates an environment at Lancaster which fosters the support and training of research students to allow them to succeed, and their successes we will be recognising today. Lancaster is and will remain a university that's open to the world. We have a campus in China, another in Ghana, one in Malaysia, and our latest opened in Leipzig in Germany. We're a global university. Here in Lancaster, we're particularly proud of the fact that we welcome students from 183 countries worldwide. Our staff come from all parts of Europe and beyond, including Yorkshire. The rich diversity they provide on campus not only brings huge benefits educationally, it prepares our students for life in an increasingly global society. Today, we celebrate the fact that you've graduated from a top-performing university. Today, you graduate with your peers from Lancaster University Management School, a place of cutting-edge knowledge where academically leading research is applied in the real world to positively impact the lives of individuals, businesses, organisations, and society. Success, in whatever form it takes, is inherently about people. Behind each successful individual is a team of family, friends, and colleagues, and our exceptional Lancaster staff, working together to help us achieve our dreams and aspirations. On this special day, we should take a moment to recognise the contribution they have made to all of you. Their support and encouragement has, I'm sure, made a real difference at vital moments during your university journey. It's wonderful that so many of your friends and family can be here with us today. So let us take a second to show our appreciation of each other and those who've helped you get here. So today you join a special community. Like over 160,000 others, you're about to become alumni of this great university. Ours is a community that expresses the very best of today's world. High achievers, great thinkers, top leaders, all important, but also, we hope, people who care about those around them. People who are making a difference in communities, both local and global, in industry and in charity, in private companies and in public service. You come from different backgrounds and will end up living and working in very different locations, but in the end, you are part of a community all bound together here by one common history. When you leave, you will take something of Lancaster with you. Memories, of course, the friends you've made, the tutors you've met, the knowledge you've gained, what you've learned from your studies. But above all, we hope that what you take away from Lancaster is what you've learned about yourselves. Earlier this year, I had the privilege of listening to Sir Alex Ferguson address a new group of graduates at Lancaster's partner UA92 in Manchester. Three things stuck with me from what he said, all drawn from his experience of a life with not the easiest of starts, but a perseverance to success, allowing him to speak with both authority and perhaps an unexpected humility. He said, firstly, value expectations, those you have of yourself and those that others have of you. Secondly, Learn from your disappointments, because you will have them, and how you respond defines you. He stopped in his presentation and he asked the audience, how many cup finals did I lose? And there was a sort of frozen silence before someone was bold enough to say, 7. And he looked at them and he said, that's right, son. I lost 7 cup finals, he said, and I was a better manager for every cup final I lost. So learn to understand your disappointments and learn from them. And finally, of course, as you would expect him to say, never, ever give up. If these things are good enough for him, I dare say they may be valuable for all of you. It's one of life's ironies, of which there are many, that the apex of one achievement is but the platform for the next. Each of you has proved that you have what it takes to make a success of life, that if you persevere, it pays off, that if you follow your dreams, you can rise to a higher level. So be of good courage, and in the world in which you're entering, remember always to do what you can with what you've got where you are. So congratulations once again. I wish you all the very best for the future, wherever life takes you. Thank you very much.
Please may all the Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, Master of Research and Master of Science by Research graduands from Lancaster University Management School stand. Pro-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present these members of Lancaster University Management School who are worthy to receive higher degrees and diplomas of the university. While they're coming up, we will be starting with students getting their Doctor of Philosophy, and I'll be reading out their name and their thesis title. They've spent several years writing it, so I think it's only right. Once we've read the titles, you can go wild and clap and cheer and everything else. Okay, thank you. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Benjamin James Finch, Uncertainty, Credit and the Housing Market. Thomas Jalili Tanner, Making and Connecting Circular Markets. Esra Packer, a Jungian archetypal analysis of unconscious dynamics in organizations, a case study in Turkey. Kittipum Supamomtri, Insights into the Effectuation Entrepreneurial Approach of Small Artisan Entrepreneurs. Thomas Uslep, Political Conservatism and Fair Trade, Conceptual and Empirical Investigations. For the degree of Master of Arts, Holly Charlotte Foster. Wai Jing Lee. Bethany Helen Millington. Hui Fan Nhu. Shipra. Arzu Pritam Sina. Yang Jin. For the degree of Master of Research, Emmanuel Tawai Bissa. Femifa Lodun. Alireza Noruzi Shipushi. Qian Wang. Pijun Zhong. For the degree of Master of Science by Research, Thomas Barker. Matthew Bond. Please may all the Doctor of Philosophy, Master of Arts, Master of Research and Master of Science by Research graduates from Lancaster University Management School stand.
By my authority as Pro-Chancellor, I confer upon these members of Lancaster University Management School the degrees and diplomas for which they have been presented. Many congratulations.
Pro-Chancellor, I present to you Mark Ritson for the award of Outstanding Alumnus of the Year. Mark is a distinguished member of an alumni community that, as we have heard, numbers over 160,000 members across the globe. As we recognise his achievements through this award, we also acknowledge and celebrate the wider successes of all Lancaster graduates and the important part they continue to play in the life of our university. Now, before I'm starting, I'm going to say that this is the first opportunity that Mark has had to wear his PhD robes from Lancaster. So like you in the front row, this is a first for him as well. Mark Ritson is a renowned brand specialist who is widely acknowledged as one of the world's best marketing instructors. His career spans both the business and academic worlds, and he has developed an enviable reputation as a speaker and visionary on all aspects of the marketing profession. Sensational, thought-provoking, colourful and rigorous in his analysis, strident and compelling, consensus-busting, dares to swim against the flow. These comments represent just a tiny sample of the feedback from audiences after they've spent an hour or two in Mark's company, as he encourages them to cut through the hype and hysteria that surround marketing today and return to the irrefutable principles and practices that work. And a lot of big names are listening to his message. As a private marketing consultant, he has worked with some of the world's top brands, including De Beers, Ericsson, KPMG, PepsiCo, Subaru, and Unilever. It's not just conference audiences and company boardrooms that are wowed by Mark's message. Back in 2001, a piece of pricing research he co-authored was cited by George Akerlof during the latter's acceptance speech for the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences. This illustrates an essential truth about Mark's work, that it is based on impeccable research and evidence, and, we like to think, reflects well on the way he was nurtured and developed as a student in the management school. His talent for teaching has certainly been recognised through a string of successful assignments as a professor of marketing at the London Business School, the University of Minnesota, the Melbourne Business School, and in a visiting capacity at MIT Sloan. In addition, Mark also spent 13 years as in-house professor for LVMH, the world's largest luxury group, working with senior executives from brands like Louis Vuitton, Dom Perignon, and Hennessy. While Mark is in very high demand as a conference speaker and teacher, He's also a prolific writer and columnist, penning regular pieces for Marketing Week and The Australian. More scholarly publications include articles in the Sloan Management Review, Harvard Business Review, the Journal of Advertising, and the Journal of Consumer Research. As might be imagined, Mark is no stranger to awards for all aspects of his work. On 3 occasions, he has won the Business Columnist of the Year at the PPA Press Awards, the highest award for magazine journalism in the UK. He was also British Society of Magazine Editors Business Columnist of the Year in 2018. He was the recipient of the Ferber Award in 2000 for his doctoral thesis and has been recognised by the Australian Marketing Institute with the Sir Charles McGrath Award, the highest honour for marketing in Australia. In 2019, he gave the 30th anniversary Levitt Group lecture for the Chartered Institute of Marketing in the UK, has been rated one of the Power 50 by Ad News, and one of the top 10 business thinkers in Australia by Smart Company. Despite being based on the other side of the planet, Mark has maintained close links with his alma mater, featuring in the LUMS Alumni Magazine Ambassador and lecturing to current students through the Department of Marketing. Mark Ritson's achievements over the last 20 years illustrate the success that is possible with commitment and dedication. Our world faces so many challenges, far more indeed than when each of you first arrived at Lancaster. When you leave today as graduates, you will have the chance to make a real difference by putting the things you've learned here to good use. Whatever path you choose, whatever opportunities and obstacles you face, like Mark and many other alumni before you, be the best that you can be for yourselves, your families, and the wider communities in which you live and work. Pro-Chancellor, it is my honour to present Mark Ritson for the award of Outstanding Alumnus of the Year.
Pro-Chancellor, graduates, fellow members of the university, it's a great honour to be here today. I have to confess, I have very vague memories of being here 30 years ago when I graduated as an undergraduate student. I do remember vaguely, I think it was a gentleman in a blue suit, speaking briefly. It was quite, I have to say, patronising and a little boring. It wasn't the best speech, but I can't remember who it was. It was 30 years ago. So I don't want to bore you, and I don't want to be patronising, so I'm not even going to address you directly. Instead, I'm going to talk to that young man over there, right in the back corner. Can you see him? He looks a bit like me. He's a bit thinner, less grey hair. He's hungover, unlike me. He's me 30 years ago. That's where I sat when I graduated the first time round. And I'm going to, if I can, open the tumblers of time for 5 minutes and give myself some advice on what is going to happen over the next 30 years. The first thing I'm going to tell my younger self is not to worry about money. It will come. It will surely come. Lots of it. But better than that, the knowledge that money is not the most important thing. It certainly helps, but it's not the most important thing. It's the knowledge to take what you have and not take it for granted and know the limit of your reach. That is the first thing I would tell my younger self. The second thing I would mention to that young man sitting over there is enjoy it a bit more than you're about to. Amazing things are going to happen to that young man over the next 30 years, and they will be wonderfully enjoyable. But sometimes you won't even notice because he's so busy or he's so stressed or he's taking it for granted. So I would tell him to take a moment out as these wonderful things happen and appreciate them for what they are. As Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. You need to step back every now and again and not take it for granted. I did something last week. I was working in New York City that my younger self wouldn't do, but as an old man, I definitely would. I had a big meeting in the city, in Midtown. And rather than rush there in a car, I got up a little bit earlier, I downloaded some Gershwin onto my iPhone, and I spent an hour walking down Fifth Avenue with all the Christmas tourists. I saw Saks, I saw the Rockefeller Center, the Empire State Building, and I had an astonishing hour. I need more of those moments. I would tell myself to take more time out and enjoy those moments. I would also tell myself, even though I'm quite arrogant, to back myself a bit more. I came from a well-meaning but utterly useless comprehensive school in Cumbria, and it gave me a sense that perhaps I wasn't as good as some of the other people that I met, and it took a long time for that to go. I'll even turn down a professor's position at Harvard because I'm not quite sure I'm up to it. I'm going to tell myself to be more confident, to back myself. I'm going to tell myself a story that I heard from Michelle Obama, a blue-collar girl herself from South Chicago, and how she began as First Lady assuming that everyone was a genius except her. Whenever she met the head of the World Bank or the president of Switzerland, she assumed they were geniuses because it was the head of the World Bank or the president of Switzerland. And gradually, because she's a smart woman, she began to realize most of these people weren't special at all. They were lucky, and they put themselves forward. And she began to realize that that was really what was going on. It took me 20 years to learn that lesson. So I'd tell myself early on, there's no one better than you. Don't be arrogant, but put yourself forward. Never underestimate your own skills. I would tell myself to enjoy the pressure that's going to come, because by goodness, that young man is going to be put under a lot of pressure. Horrible things, pressurized things. And yet I'm going to tell him to enjoy it. I'm going to tell him about a conversation I had with Karl Lagerfeld, the famous fashion designer, the Kaiser. I once asked him, just before a couture show, are you still getting nervous at these things, Karl? And Lagerfeld looked at me and said, of course I am, stupid boy. Of course I am. But I welcome the pressure because it means I'm still alive. Yeah? He's right. Pressure is a horrible thing, but it's also something you won't feel very often. And it's a reminder you're doing something great. You should welcome it. And it's a reminder that you're still alive. I would tell myself to buy some good luggage. That's also going to be important in my little 5-minute briefing. For the next 10 years, I'm going to carry these horrible plastic suitcases around. Bad for the planet, bad for me, bad for everything. I'm going to tell myself to go down to Bond Street, to Louis Vuitton, borrow some money, and buy myself a nice Louis Vuitton roller. Because I can take that roller with me for the next 30 years of my life, my oldest friend. Take it all around the world. And in doing so, save myself a fortune in the long term in all those horrible plastic luggage things. I'll also tell myself to hang on to my mates. That sounds obvious right now because my mates are all sitting with me there 30 years ago. Your mates are here right now. And if they're not, you'll see them in a few hours' time. But life will stop that very soon. Babies will get in the way. Countries will get in the way. Life will get in the way. Work hard to stay in touch with your friends. Scott Galloway, the other great marketing professor, has been talking a lot about how in 1990, when I was sitting over there, the average person had 10 good friends. Today, they have 3. Don't be part of that statistic. Work hard to stay in touch with your friends. Tomorrow, I will head back to London and I will meet all my friends for a dinner. They're all from Lancaster. They're all from Grisdale. They're all from the hopelessly bad Grisdale football team of 1990. And we will do exactly what we did here 30 years ago. We'll get drunk. And we'll tell lies. But we'll also know we won't see each other very often after this. We're 55. We can count on one hand the number of times we'll see each other again. Remember that. Hang on to your friends. And finally, I would tell my younger self to appreciate Lancaster. I never did. I loved it. I had an amazing time, but I never realized how good it was. The colleges, the atmosphere, the quality of the people, the brilliant liberal way it was designed, the care that went into it. I took it all for granted. The quality of the marketing degree. It was another 15 years, ironically, as a professor at other business schools before I realized how good this place was. So don't take it for granted, because in a blink of an eye, 30 years from now, you might get an email from this university asking you to come and talk to the class of 2055, yeah? And you'll have to try and remember that old guy in the blue suit that talked to you back in 2022. Thank you.
Please may all the Master of Science and Postgraduate Diploma graduands from Lancaster University Management School stand. Pro-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present these members of Lancaster University Management School who are worthy to receive higher degrees of the university. For the degree of Master of Science, Christopher Mark Abrum. Sameh Achwane. Ashar Ahmed. Anis Alichi. Sharon Adaku Anakwezi. Ashwinth Kamaraji. Jason Timothy Ni Odate Eye. William John Baird. Nishita Balachandra. Dikshitha Balasubramanian. Harsh Singh Baduria. Pratik Jaisawal. Franziska Brack. Maria Francisca Carvalho. Maria João Carvalho Teixeira. Pimpata Chamchan. Chin Tu Benedict Chan. Polina Ivanova. Zheng Hao Li. Priya Chauhan. Bo Chiao Chen. Xiao Ming Cheng. Binja Chetan Kumar. Harry James Crossland. Maria Francisca da Costa Fernandez. Neela Preya Darshini Dana Sakaran. Dimitar Dimitriov. Pratik Divatia. Joe Matthew Dodd. Yufai Duan. Samantha Elliott. Martin Everard. Michael Ochina Ezena. Wen Loan Fan. Nika Fazlinejad. Duarte Ferreira de Brito. Madhav Gakar. Nadezhda Georgieva. Flavian Gomanda. Zixuan Showen Go. Yifan Gong. Sagarika Goru. Tegan Jane Graham. Pallavi Gupta. Farshad Akbari. Long Tai Hao. Lauren Elizabeth Hardman. Mithila Harish. Yan Chin Ho. Chien Yun Su. Rukchanaka Kardan. I'll try again. Sorry. Rakkana Kardnanitha. Elizabeth Northando Carombo. Arunima Katia. Nikhil Anish Khatri. Apisada Kongjaron. Arush Kumar. Elizaveta Kurenina. Ting Che Lai. Mishiko Lazaria. Shunji Liu. Ying Yi Lin. Yu Tun Lin. Judy Liu. Robert Livingston. Zoe Mala. Ingi Mamad Lee. Lekhana Manjuantha. Anastasia Manmar. Cameron Trevor Massey. Manthan Jitendra Mehta. Lars Meyenberger. Artitaya Mekavichai. Ru Teng Mong. Ranel Miranda. Manu Mittal. Lillian Pascal Mkemangwa. Christopher Anthony Moore. Nuno Miguel Morena Teixeira Bastos. Natasha Mutetwa. Humera Mulla. Anna Moosh. Nidhi Deepak Nadkarni. Nuvneet Nayar. Nikhil Nambri. Amritha Nampalat. Laika Nazir. Nafisha Nasreen. Madeleine Louise Neal. Wai Him Jeremy Ngang. Ngok Phuong Dung Ngungyeng. Lewis David Nicholas. Madamanchi Nilaya. Nethaya Nirame Nepat. Ugo Chukwo Nweke. Ode Boyega Olukuyode Olusumade. Sarah Abigail Ore de la Cruz. Charlotte Jane Orr. Claudia Pham. Jerin Clinton Pinto. Warumpong Pongru Japon. Patricia Prespiora. Alfie Alif Putra. Riti Vimal Rathod. Joseph Matthew Richardson. Sara Robostelli Della Cuna. Vinod Saladi. Kunchanok Sumpuntasit. Kimberly Saunders. Diksha Saxena. Timo Shamov. Siddhi Sharma. Riddhi Sharma. Arjun Shetty. Yong Shi. Oliver Michael Smith. Katarina Sofia Sousa Reis. Faye Olivia Starkey. Nataon Sutrong. Andy Sun. Aditya Surana. Varshini Shureth. Lucy Charis Schultz-Nield. Dominic Felipe Talhado Lobo. Satapon Ungcharia Wong. Venkata Ramani Saumya Upadastra. Keshwan Wang. Kian Wo. Ryu Joy Wu. Xinyi Wu. Shen Lang Yao. Jinghua Zhu. Yvonne Zhang. Jiangming Zhang. Ninghuang Zhou. Georgiana Emefa Adetinuke Zawanu. Please may all the Master of Science and Postgraduate Diploma graduates from Lancaster University Management School stand.
By my authority as Pro-Chancellor, I confer upon these members of the Lancaster University Management School the degrees for which they have been presented. Congratulations.
Pro-Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present the following student who is eligible to receive the Chancellor's Medal for Exceptional Merit in their programme of study. Joseph Matthew Richardson.
Well, I think if there were degrees for exuberance, this particular class would have done particularly well. So I hope you've all enjoyed the opportunity, and many congratulations again. Can I thank particularly our signer for doing all the hard work which she has, and Dr. Ritson for such a memorable address. I suspect many of you coming back will remember not only where you were sitting, but also what you heard. And through him to thank all the staff for their extraordinary work in making sure that today has come along. I now declare this congregation closed. Long may our university prosper. Thank you very much.